Super Mario Brothers, Game Genie. Together, they make an incredible combination. About 12 years ago, I created a video here on YouTube called Top 10 Weird Super Mario Game Genie Codes. In this video, I went over the best Super Mario Game Genie codes I had ever seen. Well, it's been a long time since that video, and I've seen a lot more Game Genie codes. So in this video, I'm revisiting this topic to see how my original list holds up after all these years later. I've gathered what are the best of the best codes in my opinion, and today we're going to find out which codes remain on my list from 2010 and which ones are new to the list. So coming in at number 10 on my list is the classic code Nultica. This is a very interesting cosmetic code which causes all of the enemies in the game to turn into Toad. This code is absolutely hilarious. If you make it to World 8, you might even find that all the enemies are not Toad anymore. They're princesses! This code held on from my original top 10 list from 2010. On the old list, this was number 3. And I must say, I still do agree that this is one of the best. I like to combine this one with the code EV-IV, which causes all enemies to bounce when they hit the ground. Come on, Mario. They just want a hug. The next code I've got is VGP-NYA. You're not going to believe what this code does. It's nuts. Yeah, this one makes all sorts of weird junk come out of the item blocks. Fire bars, bad guys, floating platforms, even deadly bits of Bowser. Yow! It's so random what comes out of the blocks, you'll never really know what to expect. This is another carryover from my original list, but it dropped significantly down to number 9. But it absolutely still deserved a place on the best of list. This code is awesome. It's so much fun to play around with, and since a bunch of crazy junk comes out of the mushroom blocks, this makes it so you'll never be able to power up in the game, and it makes it much more difficult. This code is awesome. As I mentioned earlier, my Game Genie career has been a long one. And instead of having a list filled with goofy codes that screw up the game, nowadays I appreciate codes with a more utilitarian nature. I need codes that can actually help me out, and this code does just that. AOA UIG will allow you to jump as much as you want. This one comes in handy when you're exploring strange level codes, like this one, LZAOZV, which is an interesting random level code with a lot of blocks all over the place. And to explore this one, you'll need the infinite jumps code. This code is so useful, absolutely an essential code in my Game Genie toolbox. My next code is another utility code. This one is ANAXZG, which allows you to start the game from any world. Essentially, this is the level select that you get when you beat the game, but here you can start on any world in the first quest. This one is so useful for exploring all the levels in the game, or even using it with ROM hacks. This is a very useful code, and an essential cheat code for me these days. Of course, I've got to have one of these seemingly randomly generated level codes on my list, and this one is awesome. It's called Autopy. Autopy is an interesting code. This one will scatter blocks and platforms in interesting layouts that are very fun to explore. There is so much crazy stuff to explore in this one. It pairs well with both the level select code that I just showed you, as well as the infinite jumps code. If you enjoy exploring crazy layouts, this code is for you. Oh yeah, number 5 is Ozticle, aka Gotta Go Fast mode. This code makes you fast like Sonic. So fast that the level scrolling can barely keep up. At first, it might seem like this code is actually a superpower, but in my experience, it's more of a curse. I would even go as far as to call this one a challenge code because it really makes it tough to jump around the platforms with any kind of precision. Just slip right off. This code is tough, but it's a lot of fun. Next up, we have Napsin, the No Aim Fireball code. This is another useful code where it'll automatically move any fireballs that you shoot directly to all of the enemies on screen. So most of the time, all you gotta do is hit B to kill all of the enemies on screen. It's amazing. You'll never have to worry about those flying fish again. Get out of here. Mario's just running around terrorizing the Mushroom Kingdom. This is another code from my original list, and I still find this one incredibly useful. There's not always great weather in the Mushroom Kingdom. Here, we've got Ivy, aka the Windy Day code. Now this code causes all of the enemies to fly to the left as soon as they're on screen. It's just like they've been blown away by the wind. It also affects mushrooms, but thankfully it's still possible to catch them. This one kind of reminds me of the windy sections from Super Mario 2 Japan, aka the Lost Levels. Except here, everything but Mario gets blown by the wind. Whoa! Whoa! What? This is the kind of code you throw on when you want to play through Super Mario Bros. With a little extra challenge to deal with. Now, if you want a huge challenge to deal with, you're going to want to check out my next code, XYAGEP. Ah! So you think you're a pro at Super Mario Bros., do you? Well, if you do, I dare you to try out this code, XYAGEP. This is the most intense all enemies throw hammers code that I have seen to date. Not only do most all enemies throw an insane amount of hammers, but they also throw them straight up in the air, creating an additional hazard when you try and jump over the bad guys. This is insane! The amount of hammers that the bad guys throw at you really reminds me of Bowser on World 8, where at times he'll just chuck a wall of hammers at you. Now imagine every enemy in the game is now even more deadly than World 8 Bowser. Yep, that's XYAGEP for you. This one even sometimes causes the enemies to start moving forward and backwards, just like the Hammer Brothers. And it makes the piranha plants come out of their pipes to throw hammers at you too. Mamma mia! Yeah, this code is awesome. So now we are at the #1 spot of my list. And ladies and gentlemen, there is only one Super Mario game Genie code that could ever take my top spot in a best of list. This right here is the one and only classic Yeah code. Yeah is a little difficult to explain, but I think the words crazy or trippin' balls would be a good fit. It is complete insanity. This one makes me feel funny, like it's triggering some long-lost acid trip in my body. Yeah! Like I said, this one is insanity, and I love it! Game Genie has always been such a magical device. When you plug one into your Nintendo, it feels like the possibilities are endless. Being able to do all this weird and awesome stuff to Mario has always been so much fun. Guys, leave me a comment and let me know which code was your favorite on my list. Or maybe you've got a different favorite code that I didn't talk about. Yeah, let me know. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like on it to let me know. And if you're new to this channel, I do videos like this one where I talk about more obscure Nintendo and Super Mario stuff. I like weird stuff like this. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and also that notification bell so you'll know when I upload new videos. I don't really have a schedule on this channel, so you're probably going to want to hit that notification bell if you want to see my new videos. Thanks so much, guys. I'll see you soon with a new video. Goodbye. Yeah.